Good morning. It's 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, doing a little broadcast here from Chicago, back home from a 10-day excursion to Belize. Had a wonderful time. Um, hey, passport bros, get out, enjoy life. The manosphere is real. Hey, reclaiming your masculinity is what this is all about. We're going to show you the way if you don't know, right? So I will have a guest that will come in. Let's see. Let's find him. Let's invite. Okay. So, hey, listen. Belize, the weather was wonderful. 84 degrees every day, practically in December. The breeze was lovely. There was the moisture, the sun kissed you ever so gently. It wasn't a harsh sun like you go to the desert, Arizona or Vegas in the summertime. But my goodness, beautiful, beautiful scenery. It's amazing how well people live with so little, right? As Americans, we are blessed with access to everything if you only believe and you can imagine for yourself. It's incredible. You know what I'm talking about, being multimillionaires. That 1% is real, right? Not 1% of income earners, that's real too, but the 1% of the people on the planet that has the wealth, right? You become a multimillionaire, you become a billionaire, they're still trillionaires, right? How much do you really need to have a wonderful life of contribution, right? So this is what we're going to look at. So this morning, the topic is seed retention, right? So this is the manosphere, talking about things that pertain to men. There's a lot of different perspective on seed retention as far as from being in a relationship with your wife and then not ejaculating, right? Stopping that, retaining your seed, let it come back into you. That's kind of crazy. To celibacy, right? And once my guests get on, we're going to talk about seed retention. Is it beneficial? Is it helpful? Right? Just depends on what you're practicing, right? So, are you practicing celibacy, or are you practicing having sex and then not finishing the act, right? Those are extreme ends of seed retention, right? So that's what we're going to talk about this morning. Just waiting on my guests to come in. But looking at seed retention and the benefits, from my perspective, there are wonderful benefits from retaining your seed, practicing celibacy. The clinical work, anytime clinical work or scientific work doesn't match up with biblical principles, you can skip me on that, right? So there are some biblical realities to seed retention, right? Celibacy. So, we have an issue that we rarely talk about. It'll pop up in the news with a celebrity, and then it will become, oh wow, what was wrong with him, right? That's suicide, right? So whenever a suicide happens in our environments, especially when it happens to a celebrity, it gets in the media, social media, on the news. And what happened, those individuals that are on the brink of suicide, it creates more suicide, right? Not saying that bury the person issue under a rock, but statistics have shown whenever it's in a newspaper, it's in um, social media, it's just in media period, people who on the brink of suicide, um, that's what they do. They say that gives them permission. Oh, that person did. I can do it. It's a serious problem. So we're going to look at suicide data quickly. I'm going to give you all the research we did from 2020 data. Males make up 49% of the population. 80% of the suicides are men, right? What is going on with men where men are taking their lives, right? Middle-aged men among the highest category, age 45 to 54, right? And then men who turn 85 and older, the statistics even get higher for suicide, right? Suicide is the 12th leading cause of death in America. Every 11.5 minutes, a suicide occurs. That's a man taking his life. 80% of those suicides, every 11.5 minutes, there's a man taking his life, right? That's somebody's father. That's somebody's husband. It's serious. It doesn't get enough attention. This is why Joshua Pondexter has joined the manosphere to talk to men, right? Causes of suicide: depression, mental disorder, substance use, right? All these things leading to suicide, right? Joshua, do you think that seed retention could be a cure for this? I absolutely do. I absolutely do. Reclaiming your masculinity. This society that men live in that don't value them, think they're of no worth unless they have a lot of money, have a lot of social economic clout, can take you to the finest restaurants, vacations. Come on now. Other than that, men have no value, right? So I'm going to add that to the cost of suicide, where we don't feel good about ourselves. And suicide hotline, that's all good. Check on your men. My oldest son, which is 30, referred one of his colleagues to me, young man, going through, he's not even married to the woman, right? Had a child with her. 3 or 4 different attorneys he went through trying to get rights to his children and just get some equality there. This young man attempted suicide, right? What if he could have talked to me earlier before he did that, right? Because the conversation I had with this young man changed his life, right? First of all, he wanted to do all these things, but we were able to identify the most important thing to start working on immediately, right? Regaining your masculinity, regaining your masculine stance, right? So that's critical, right? So suicide, big deal. The media not talking about it. The talking heads are not talking about. Men are suffering, right? Not only are they committing suicide, but they're dying from work-related accident. When you go to these office buildings and you in that office with that air conditioning, with that electricity, that building been built, 98% of the people that did that work are men. And in every skyscraper that goes up, there's a man that's gonna lose his life, right? Building that building to provide that type of comfort for you, and then you're going to malign and you're going to devalue the work that men do in this society, right? Because he don't have a whole bunch of money to trick off on you. Come on, you're messing with his mind. This generation this society have men checking out, right? They are checking out all types of ways, right? They're committing suicide. They work occupational um, hazards, right? Every job has an occupational hazard. So, well, what, right? So, especially if you're working on the railroad, and you're working back-breaking construction work and at the steel mill, your body is being destroyed day by day, year by year. And by the time you're 65, you got a broken body. So men are breaking themselves, they're killing themselves to maintain the society that we live in, right? So statistics prove it. 49% of the population, this is planet wide, 80% of the suicides are committed by men, right? Middle-aged men, 45 to 54. If you got some men in that area, check on them, right? Check on them, So this little thing, black men, I love you, that's not enough. That little, speaking positivity into black men. Well, nobody care about no speaking. We like actions, right? Let your actions show. The 12 leading causes of death in America is suicide. Every 11.5 seconds, I've been talking here for a little bit. There's a lot of people that committed suicide just doing this conversation. So Joshua, what's the point? Can seed retention, that means not spilling your seed, not giving your seed to the world, right? That means masturbation, watching pornography. Can that correct this problem? Yes, it can, right? Because when you retain, your seed is your power, right? If you retain your seed, it will energize your body, right? It is something I'll call some people up on the witness stand, right? Let's call the Apostle Paul. Some of you guys might not be familiar with the sacred text. The text is over 2,000 years old, but the lessons still stand. The Apostle Paul had made himself a eunuch for the cause of Christ. And you see what he did. He changed the religious world, right? For a cause, he made himself a eunuch. He held his seed for a cause. And so that's the lesson. Hold your seed for a cause, right? Now, there are practices out here. Asceticism, which is self-denial, which has in it, at the base of it, practicing celibacy, right? I began practicing this in my 20s, right? When I started reading this philosophy, right, of self-denial. And so it was like, wow, what I was able to accomplish, right, in a very short period of time by going celibate, making myself a eunuch for a cause to advance myself in life, right? Oh, it works. I'm not saying you got to be celibate forever, but the seed retention, that other end of having sex and then holding it, don't let it go, let it back up in your system, man, that sounds a little bit uncomfortable to me. I don't know who can do that. I can't do it. So we're talking about celibacy. We're talking about regaining your masculinity. And I would tell you, does it work? Yes, it's worked, because the benefits of remaining your seeds, there's an energy that's maintained in your body that you have, right? Your masculinity is showing. You become more attractive to women. Men find themselves gravitating towards you. As a matter of fact, I even know what it is. I can't even go to a coffee shop and sit there and have a cup of coffee. Well, I'm having tea this morning. I'll let you know I'm a hero. I'm a legend. I'm a grandpa. I can't even go sit and read a book without somebody talking to me. It doesn't matter. I could be in Chicago or I could be in Bangkok. That's energy, right? It has nothing to do with me. It comes from the fact that I have learned to retain my seed in me. I ain't wasting my seed. And here's another thing, young men, is that your seed, your orgasm, one of your orgasms is worth 500 at a minimum orgasms of a woman, right? Because she can orgasm all she wants to, ain't that gonna happen. But if you orgasm inside of her, a baby can happen. That's powerful, right? If you retain that power, you control that power, utilize that power and that energy to build a life that you can then build a family, build a legacy, it's worthwhile. I'm telling you, when men was practicing this just out of necessity because they had to go and hunt and gather food and go to war and things like that, listen, this is what they were doing. Then the masculinity was there. So seed retention is, hey, listen, I'm not a clinician, but there's some things that I know. If you look at those men who have accomplished great things in life, they were not out here wasting their seed. This was one thing that they were not doing, right? So, to introduce you to the concept of seed retention, you might want to go do some research on it. There's varying forms of it. There's varying thoughts and positions on it. All its foolishness, all its, hey, listen, I'm talking about celibacy, right? I went to Belize for 10 days. And trust me, they think passport bros be going over there to trick. No, sir. No, ma'am. I went and enjoyed the country. Wasn't looking for no women, right? No, I find women in the United States of America. There's plenty of y'all here, right? So I didn't have to go across the world to waste my seed. I practice seed retention. This seed is so valuable because that's where my money is. That's where my mental health is, right? So that's one of the causes of suicide, mental disorder. If you want to get your mind right, hold on to your seed, right? Depression, we all get low, right? But don't stay low, because what it's going to do is going to lead to clinical depression, right? We all get down. So if you get down, get active, right? I'm talking about, man, I've been changing people's life before I started changing people's lives, right? Yeah. I was over in Belize, young man that was my driver, forever changed, right? He committed to, we're going to follow up on it, he committed to not gambling anymore. We went to the casino and I showed him how it was a waste of time, how he was taken from his family. And this man, we wrote down the date, signed it, witnessed that we are not going to gamble anymore. Made a commitment, made a decision, right? So now that we understand the power, I want you to do some investigation on celibacy, the benefits of it for a cause. The Apostle Paul used it for a cause, right? So now let's give you some strategies to level up, to become a peak performer, right? So the first thing that you want to do, if you want to be a peak performer, you must have clarity, right? You must know where you're going, right? You must be clear, right? The vision must be clear, right? If you want to be a peak performer, if you want to level up as a man, you got to get clear, right? And so under clarifying, these are some steps that would help you, right? I'm going to give you 10 of them right quick. Number one, be decisive, right? Make a decision, right? So, hey, make a decision. Well, I don't know. Well, people who are successful, peak performers, they don't make all the right decisions, but they make decisions. They are making decisions, right? Then you must have a vision. Without a vision, the people will perish. You need a vision, right? You need concentration. That's one of the benefits of seed retention, practicing celibacy, that your mind get more clear. You can concentrate, right? And then you must use common sense, right? And sense is not common, so you must use common sense. And what is common sense? That is thinking, right? Which most people, 98% of people on the planet, are so lazy that they will not think. It makes their head hurt to think. You got to think. Think out of the box, right? So, well, I'm thinking. No, you're not. You're reacting, right? Common sense. You got to do some thinking, right? And then creativity. You got to get creative. Whatever you're doing, professionally, in your business, get creative, right? So, so get creative. Okay, brother Ware, we're about to wrap this up. Get creative. If you have a product, if you have a service, and everybody else is selling it, all you have to do is be 10% better. It'll make you a fortune. It'll make you a living. It will separate you from the masses, right? Consideration. You must be considerate of other people. Get some people skill. Learn people where you can deal with people all over the planet successfully, right? Commitment. Most people are only interested in things. Find something that you can commit to. Can you commit to your family? Can you commit to yourself? Can you commit to your children? Find something. Can you commit to your profession? Get committed, right? And then courage. It takes courage to walk the life of a peak performer. You got to be courageous, right? Because people, why are you doing that? Right? No. You got to push through. And then confidence. Confidence is going to come from success. More success breeds more success. But we miss one. Competence. This is what you got to get good at what you're doing, right? You got to be the best possible salesperson, the best possible floor worker or factory worker that you can be, and you will be elevated in life, right? So once again, quickly, suicide is a serious problem in our community. 49% of the people on the planet are males. 80% of the suicide are men. The 12 leading cause of suicide in America is the 12 leading cause of death in America is suicide. Every 11.5 seconds, someone is committing suicide, right? And so I'm saying that seed retention is a cure for this. And I'm on this end over here practicing celibacy. The Apostle Paul made himself a eunuch for the cause of Christ. Practice celibacy for a cause greater than you, right? Cause to elevate yourself. Make yourself a man among men, right? And then if you want to level up and you want to be a peak performer, you got to get clarity, right? And here are 10 strategies or 10 points to look at when you're clarifying the situation. You got to be clear in your decisions, right? You got to make better decisions. So make them quicker. All of them are not going to be 100% successful, right? You got to have a vision. Without a vision, a person will perish, right? You need to be able to see, right? And then bring that reality into you, right? You got to be competent, right? Get very good at what you're doing. If you're a type, I don't care what you're doing. You sweeping floors or whatever, woodworker, whatever. Get extremely competent at it, right? Concentration, right? You need to concentrate on your task at hand. And so this multitasking does not work, right? You have a task, concentrate on it, get it done, right? One of the benefits of celibacy, seed retention, that area over here is clarity. You get clarified. You get concentration, rather, right? Because now you can concentrate. Common sense. You got to think, right? Men, women do not think. The masses do not think, right? Consideration, learn, get some people skills. Learn how to deal with people, right? Successfully. To navigate and negotiate with people. And you must be committed. Is there a commit? Do you have a committed life? What are you committed to, right? Courage. You need courage, right? Get some courage, right? Then you need some confidence. And what's going to give you confidence is winning. You win more and more. You win. You look at winners. We always use sports team as an analogy, yeah, because when those teams win, their confidence is apex. It's boost up, right? It's boosted, right? So we hope this has been helpful for you. This is Joshua Pondexter. We have joined the manosphere, the passport bros. We ain't joined this to talk about black women. I ain't never talked about black women. My mother, my sister is a black woman, right? Why would I come down on them, even though y'all out of control? So I'm not gonna talk about you. I'm gonna help you where you need to help at. I'm gonna help you, men. So if you have young men that need to talk to somebody, JoshuaPondexter.com. They can get a free consultation to see what's going on with them, to let them know where their problems are and where to fix them, right? Solution. Complimentary. Manosphere. We're giving. 60 years old. This brother has learned a few things, right? And he's sharing. For free. Complimentary. Well, not free, but complimentary. JoshuaPondexter.com. My website. I need to put a consultation up there. Business coaching, personal coaching will probably be under that bullet you can hit, right? So appreciate your time. We don't try to be on these things forever, but God bless. And don't forget to like, to subscribe, and to share with your network. Thank you so much. Bye for now.